call the police.
Yeah.
And I'm probably a little biased just because it was my local park, but I think the comedy of Pipeline was basically the best park pool. It was such a proving ground. You were like a contest skater and you also did good at the contest at Up and you were like, yeah, you're a rat, you know? Like, so when Tony won his first contest there, Cab, it was really a big deal. When it was first built, the pool wasn't there. It was just like a freestyle area. So a lot of the pros took up like a collection. It was about 30 grand, so I mean, it was a big deal. At that point, like the biggest pool to ever be built. And a lot of people stayed away from it because it had 3 feet of vert. It was just all burly, big ass coping. Took out a lot of people, took me out. I got stitches here. I took Chris Miller out. I took my little brother out. You get so devastated when you slam there, you know? Definitely separated the men from the boys. Yeah, I really liked that pool. I skated there for so long. And it was a good thing until they dozed it, you know. It was a cool place, though. Nothing can last forever, I guess.
Welcome to the America House. This is a living room, but he's big screen TV, where people come watch movies and hang out. This is what I like the best about the house. The stairs right here. I skate because I do what I want.
I mean, it wasn't like a plan, like we gotta live in the Hollywood Hills, you know? It started off as like a joke, like, we should go check out this mansion, you know? I don't know, it just worked out, like, could make it a team house, people have a place to stay, whatever dudes have a place to stay, that, like, while they're coming through town to film a video, you know? And that's kind of like how the whole idea came about.
Alright, we have a lot of kids coming through here all the time. Herman, Braden, Spanky, everybody else. So we set it up sort of this place for kids to sleep, bathroom, shower for them in there. So they got everything. There's one of them right there. Spanky. They gotta be like all cocky and put their own pictures up on the wall. This is the room where, oh bro. This is the big boss's room in here.
Just watching Murder, She Wrote.
This is pretty cool, like a spiral staircase. This is my room. This is where I live when I live in Hollywood. This is cool. That comes equipped with your own fridge. I don't have anything in it. That's good. This is where I sleep. That's where I get my beauty rest. This is my office right here. This is my office. Gotta have that, of course. Big master bedroom for Eric and Lucy. Nice pictures of him and the wife from their wedding day. I think that's pretty cool. See, he sets his room up nice with photos and like all this cool stuff. That's what happens when you get married. You get like nice things, I guess. This is, I don't use this much because it's like theirs, you know, but shower heads coming from all directions. You don't even have to do anything. You just stand there and they're clean when it's done. Like, it's so awesome. This is Eric's bar. This is the type of stupid shit that Eric does. He goes and sees a telescope and he's like, shit, I'm gonna buy that. This is where all the editing goes down in here. John Miner's room. This is where it all goes down right here. This is skateboarding, the magic. Right here, this is where everything goes down. John Miner. All this America got him all this equipment so he can make the sickest video ever. This is his room, this corner back here. It's like sort of, I don't know, this is a danger zone. You don't really come back here much. I'm gonna go in, check it out. Hey Heath. In your room, buddy. We should probably get out of here, actually. You're gonna see how this is out here. Water pipes, swimming pool.
That was a bad idea, getting that pool. Just summertime hit, it was scorching hot, so we were just like, yeah, let's get a kiddie pool. And then like, I don't know what we're gonna do with it. In comparison to all the rest of the houses in this neighborhood, this place is kind of thrashed. Probably always rented out to like a bunch of younger guys. The next door neighbors, they don't really like us. The neighbor behind us, they don't really like us either. I don't know, they just kind of frown on this house because it's like kind of an embarrassment to the rest of the neighborhood. It's like perfect so that we could just like put ramps and skate back here and whatever and just party and not really have to like worry about messing anything up.
Watch out!
All that's wrong with it is just this stuff in the back. Like the rest of the house is fine. There's so many people coming through all the time that the floors would just get caked in dirt. Like you'd have to hire somebody to like keep up on mopping it every day.
I like a lion for pride, a difference decides eye. The streets access turn right, left and rename. My deep familiar left arm, now that they can't cause me no harm. I was born, sure don't tell. The Liam District highways, my bed brigade rides all day. All night I ride on my bike, sit back with me to the street. The logic is you'll have to catch me.
The Ghetto Mansion. It's like the Money Pit, but it's available for rent if anybody's interested.
It always goes like I'm sitting on an airplane and some businessman or somebody asks me what I do, and I tell them I skateboard. When the truth is, for the most part, I'm still doing the very same things I've been doing since I was 14. Skating in the streets with my friends. It's just who I am, it's what I do. To me, that's success. To be 32 years old and still be able to have fun doing the very same things I did when I was 14, yeah, that's where it's at.
skateboarding is what I do. Even when I'm not skating, I'm a skateboarder, you know what I mean?
It shows me that I can do something with my life.
You have to think about what you're doing, not what's gonna happen. The more anguish I have in my life, the more despair, the more I like to skate.
I'd just rather skate bands.
What really got me into skating, I think, terrible to say, but it was the Police Academy 4 movie. But then after that, you know, I saw Animal Chin. That was like the first video I saw, and it just got me amped. Not many people skated around me, so you didn't really get to see many skate videos back then. Like my main influences, I think, growing up as a street skateboarder was Matt Hensley and Ed Templeton. Like those are the two people that I got really stoked on.
He was just one of those guys who was doing innovative stuff. You would call him an innovator. He was just very enthusiastic about learning stuff.
Well, yeah, initially I got a lot of influence from the skate videos I'd seen. I used to be more better at this than now, but I used to really try and think of new stuff that I hadn't seen people do. What possibly is there to do, you know what I mean? There's got to be new tricks.
In 1988, Alex's talent soon earned him coverage in England's Rad magazine. It also caught the attention of Deathbox skateboard owner Jeremy Fox.
Jeremy Fox called the shop and he asked to speak to me. He was like, "Do you want to ride for our team?" sort of thing, Deathbox Skateboards, and I'm like, why me? It's like, well, I just seen the Rad magazine and I'm kind of stoked on what I've seen, you know, we'd just sort of try you out and see how it goes from there. And that was it. A week later, his skateboards were turning up at my house, and my dad's like, "Where the hell did you get all the money for this?" You know, and I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I'm sponsored now.
Deathbox was an English company that had the Teapot logo. You know, you wouldn't see it over here in the States too much, but when you go over there, there was a big presence. Deathbox. There was they had good vert pros, and they had the new upcoming street guys.
Started off just by going to Europe loads, nearly every other weekend or something. We'd go and do demos, turn up at shops and like go street skating with the locals. And it worked out really well because I think Deathbox was like one of the biggest companies in Europe for around that era.
As street skating gained popularity in England, the Deathbox team added Jeff Rowley and Tom Penny.
Skate today.
You remember when all like the mental pressure flips came in and stuff like that? Suddenly skateboarding was just, I don't know, getting lame around that time, especially in England anyway.
It was a weird point in skateboarding where everyone got small wheels, fucking baggy massive pants, and had bad attitudes. And Alex wasn't into that, from what I saw. I think that's why he just mellowed out and did what he wanted to do.
And I just fizzled out for a few years. You know, I did my own things, started working on some music and DJing and stuff like that.
In a volatile period between 93 and 95, the team decides on a name change from Deathbox to Flip Skateboards. The new company eventually relocates to Huntington Beach, California, while Alex would stay behind in England pursuing his music interests. As the Flip team established itself in its new home, once again Jeremy Fox would call on his old friend.
Jeremy called me up and he asked me if I'd like to come out for a couple of weeks, see what it's like over here. And I mean, I'd never been to America and I was just like, wow, this could be a chance in a lifetime for me, sort of thing. I ended up staying for about 11 months, I think.
I know, it just got me super psyched on skating again. I was like, oh, this skateboarding's rad, this is the way it should be. So I got stoked on that, and I went home and I quit working for the record store and just started skating full time and just like DJing and that. So I just skate every day and then go and DJ at clubs in the evenings when I had bookings, you know what I mean?
Re-energized and back in England, Alex would complete filming for 2 video parts before heading back to the United States.
And then, of course, he came over, did a bunch of great stuff, and then, I don't know if it was injuries or what, Flip's standards were really high, and people like Jeff and Tom just skyrocketed and were doing some of the gnarliest stuff. And I think skateboarding really focused on those guys, and in that respect, kind of put Alex on a back burner.
Life's not easy. You don't always get to choose exactly what you're going to do when you're going to do it. And sometimes it goes like this and comes backwards and forwards. And then sometimes it meets, and luckily it's right on point for him.
I was really like happy to hear that when Santa Cruz offered him a pro spot, because it's just like, the guy does rad stuff.
He's been at a really high level of skateboarding for a few different periods of time. He has a really unique bag of tricks. He's got front foot impossibles on lock, and he's got kickflip late shots, frontside flip. He does everything, and then he'll do like molly flips. You know, nollie big spin heel flips or switch big spin heel flips. Woolly grinds, which are the switch fakie Smith. He just has a lot of creativity and a lot of style in his skating.
Bunch of weird stuff that brings a new, fresh approach to it. I don't know, something is exciting, you know?
My favorite website I've ever worked on is definitely CrailTap.com, just because of the amazing people that I've had the opportunity to work with. People like Carl Sanger, Clive Knockshaw, Arvidas Talk, Ultimate Gary, and Liam Bishop, who's just rocking. Such a good guy to work with. CrailTap, it's like the ultimate resource. It's like an encyclopedia on skateboarding from A to Z. Harsh piping galleries, almost like a live camera. Like the camera that we have up in the skate park right now. Definitely live, 24 hours a day. You might see Carol on there, Howard, whoever's skating that day. There's definitely a video in the works right now. There's like a bunch of dudes that have been tapping the Crail for quite a while, and it's just cool to bring them all together. So we got Costin, Mark Johnson, Brad, we just got Brad on the team. Tim Gavin, we got him to come out of retirement. We had to buy him a PT Cruiser, you know, but it was so worth it, man. His part in the video is gonna be so good. Ultimate Gary, I don't know if you heard of him. He's just been doing crazy stunts, you know, in his backyard ever since he was pretty much born, and he's been stepping it up another level. We have some clips of Gary ripping it on the website. Check out the website, you'll see what I'm talking about.
And in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes see you pass outside my door. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
I remember just walking around being in a daze, just so jet lagged.
First demo in Germany, another man down. And of course you have to do a demo straight off the plane. Boom, does it, lands, tail snaps off. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, final demo, I'm just like, dude, this is scary.
Hold on a second, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Easy geezer, what's up, man?
Oh, not a lot. We'll see what you're up to later.
Hello? Hello? Ah, bollocks.
I grew up skating in Cairo, Egypt, so I would definitely say that shaped the way I skate to a large degree because we just skated the streets.
My friends push me a lot in skating. They'll be doing something crazy, so I think I have to try at least, you know? Can't look like I'm just sitting down over here, you know?
No, man, I just usually just get up like this and say some music, go get some coffee and then skate.
A person can do a trick, and it's just an everyday average trick, and they can do it so good that it makes you just want to go out and skate.
Somebody who looks completely natural at what they're doing. If they look totally at home with it, if it looks like they were born doing it, that's style.
It has more to do with skateboarding than the tricks. It's how you're actually doing the trick that counts. Everybody has style, everyone.
What is it? Who has it? Why does it matter? Some people call it grace under pressure, or making the impossible look easy. Whether in a pool, parking lot, half pipe, or the street, style comes through in action, body, and soul.
Style is everything, like the way that your arms are before you do a trick, the way that they are during your trick, and the way that they are after a trick. The way that your body twists, your legs, like, it's something that someone tells you at first, you know, and then you sort of notice like kind of what they're talking about. Just the way that a person moves or how they make a trick look that's just a lot better than, you know, the 100 other guys who can do the same trick.
The foundation of skate style emulated surf moves.
You want her to be part of the earth, you know? You want her to feel it, you want her to touch it and know what's going on around you.
Early pioneers enjoyed the freedom of carving and pumping for speed.
But I also looked up to, you know, Stacy and Tony and Jay and all those dudes big time. I think that shit Jay Adams doing on the flat ground at that contest is just mind-blowing. It's like, what? It's too insane. It's just so amazing.
And you gotta remember back when we first started all this, there really wasn't that many tricks. So style was like a big deal. It was the style that set you apart from all the other people. And it all depends where you came from too, and the terrain I think you rode originally. The Dogtown guys were lucky because they had rich homes. They were hitting Hollywood, Bel Air. They had huge pools to learn. I learned more or less in medium, smaller pools. And I think those pools kind of related to what the parts built. You know, like Del Mar was really mellow, no vert, so the guys kind of learned more tricks as opposed to going fast with more style. The guys in Upland who learned in the combi and the pipe, Chris Miller, my little brother, Chris Robinson, learned on mass vert. You had to go so fast and big in order to do what you had to do at Pipeline. So every pocket learned differently. And when you got to the contest, the style that you had set you apart from all the others.
I mean, the whole Veriflex thing and the Veribots and all that stuff was like, they were a little more jock in a way. And then there was like the Santa Cruz guys, which was Dwayne Peters, Steve Alba, Mickey Alba.
Punk rock guys against like the robotic guys that we thought just rode the pool back and forth and just did a trick and like did a setup and then he'd do a frontside grind. And we're spitting on these guys and they're like, we're brawling in a parking lot.
And all about attitude too.
Emphasis on different styles pinnacled in the 80s with the media-made rivalry between Tony Hawk and Christian Hosoi.
Like Christian Hosoi, I mean, that guy looks like he was born on a skateboard, hands down. You know, one of the best amazing styles ever, but so graceful and so natural. Nothing forced, nothing contrived, and just really amazing. You know, the guy could do a backside air and you'd just be like in heaven. And, you know, someone else could do a 7,000 McFlingle, and you're like, ugh.
Vert's confidence and attitude soon affected street skating.
As a kid, it was fun to watch Tommy Guerrero like skate down hills and hopping and bouncing and sliding and grinding and just pumping off stuff. Like, he was always moving.
He just was flowing too, man. He was flowing, but it was like he was fast and like he had tight movements. He had snap, you know, and it was like charisma. He had like spark, you know. It was like you could just tell he was on, you know, and he was always hype. He was like, he just had energy.
There's a lot of good people out there with good styles. I could name a list that would take it forever for me to go through. But, you know, like Jason Lee and Mark Gonzalez.
Mark Gonzalez and Nadas.
They didn't have to do anything insanely hard, but it was just something about the way that they moved that made you want to go skating.
Brian Lottie, Jovante, Mike Carroll, Rick Howard.
I just have this idea in my head of style. I'm always thinking like Jovante, Jason Lee, Brian Lottie, you know, like Rick Howard, you know.
Chris Miller, for sure. Like, he did these alley-oop cross-flown airs that were just insane. And then, like, Mike Fraser was pretty tough. Fraser was just so gnarly that it was just like, looked like it was just, he's just gonna break something, you know what I mean? It was insane. I like to watch Fraser.
Danny and Colin, like Danny Way skates vert. Just the way that his arms are and like just the certain tricks he does, the way he does a backside air.
Kids who came up watching the H Street videos and other early tech street videos became fascinated with technical street innovations to the point of excluding everything else. And without a solid foundation of the past, the early importance of style was lost. In 1994, Stereo blows a breath of fresh air with its video release, A Visual Sound.
Ethan Fowler, when I first seen him skate, I had never seen anyone that natural in a long, long time. And I knew I was like, that guy's a special dude right there. Like Jason Lee, you know, same thing. Just amazing, just happens. Nothing's forced.
In like 96 and 97, style I think was really, really more important then. You started losing the late flips and the under flips. It was more smooth and stylish, landing stuff clean and popping it, you know. And
yeah, once technical skating sort of became the norm, then the cream sort of rise to the top. And you had to not only do these really hard tricks, but you had to do them really well, or you were cut. Yes, you can do this crazy hard trick, but this guy does it so good, and if you're not doing it that good, don't even try it, you know? Gino Iannucci is one of those dudes who it doesn't matter what he does. It can be the craziest hard trick. Like, he's done some crazy tech stuff, and he just makes it look amazing.
But then like Tony Trujillo, you know what I mean? Wow. Just amazing.
Tony Trujillo, I think, is probably right now, hands down, one of my favorite skaters.
With Tony's style, man, like, he's so relaxed on his board that it just comes out, the style, and he's got it like that.
I don't know. I mean, you can be out of control and still look good, you know? Or you can just be aggressive, like really, really aggressive and make it look rad, you know?
I'm just want to make it so bad that like I'm gonna try to do it. So if it looks like I'm out of control and then I pull it back together, that's what's going on with me, you know what I mean?
Donnie Barley, Tim O'Connor. Kenny Reed for sure is an amazing person to watch. Dennis Bushnitz is one of my favorites to watch right now. But he's not like a handrail kid. Nowadays I just think it's what's the biggest rail and who can do the most tricks, and it's more like hammers like this on videos rather than like pushing, like no one really sees pushing. And
I want to see him skate. I want to see him push, and I want to see how, you know, how they land and how they ride away.
It's getting a lot more like stunt oriented, and there's only a few people who stand out in that kind of skating. It's like, you know, making big stuff look good, which is like, you know, hard enough as it is to just do it. Heath Kirchart, like Jeff Rowley, Arto, like they do crazy, crazy stuff, but they make it look amazing.
I mean, after a certain amount of years of skating, usually your style just kind of comes to you.
You get to a point where you start to actually feel comfortable on your skateboard. I think it's something that as generations change, style means something different to each generation. When you see good style, no matter what kind it is, it just sort of hits you, you know?
Watching videos, I'd watch more about people, how they did the tricks more than what tricks they were doing.
There's this guy, and he does tricks, and then there's this guy, and he makes tricks look good.
I have a problem with the sense of style, you know, because I've seen people who could push down a block and have more style than, like, you know, people with a contrived style.
There's like a panel of judges in skateboarding, you know? Like the dudes, and if they deem it's cool, then it's cool. No matter what kind of skating comes about, there's always people who can make the same old look amazing. It's nice to be able to see guys do stuff that is exceptionally hard, but make it look so natural and so good, you know? There always has to be people that inspire other people, you know?
Shit, Brian Lottie, man, he was doing what he was doing, and he was so connected to his board that, like, the way his body, like, performed, it looked rad.
The little kids don't know about Lottie. Talk about buttery. Not only did he innovate lots of tricks, he made them look amazing. Lottie brought something to skating that just, oh man, it was like golden. I think it's kind of cool that he broke out when he did, because he just left us with this like hunger for more. Brian, come back. Lottie, just come back to skating just a little bit.
I think he's a really stylish guy. I mean, I definitely used to watch his video part in the Planet Earth video all the time, you know? And I just watch it and just realize, like, this is what skateboarding is.
My name is Brian Lottie. I'm 18 years old. I go to school at University of San Diego, and I live in San Diego, and I like to skate, I guess, and sleep, go to school, eat, play air hockey every once in a while, hang out, I guess, with my friends.
This is not what love's about. I did some more and start to cry. Gets me started on wondering why how things cannot be the same. And I'm not placing any blame, but face the grim reality. Things cannot and will not be the same. No, not the same.
when I've seen kids, and it's reminded me of when I first started skating, because I would just kind of sit back and I would just be I'd be in awe, I guess you could say, like, of all the things people did and stuff. So I guess one of the most rewarding things about skateboarding now is that I can help kids that are in the same position that I used to be in. Because I don't know, I've gotten a lot out of skateboarding, and I wouldn't be where I am now if people in my position now hadn't helped me out. Every new trick always feels better. Like when you take it one step further, it always feels better. I don't know, it just feels good when like a complicated trick comes together, I guess. Yeah, manual tricks are more like balance stuff, I guess. I don't know, it's weird. Like, how many different ways can you balance while moving on your skateboard? I don't know, it just feels satisfying if you land like something clean. You're on your board, and you land backwards with a good amount of speed, or you land forward and you jump. At the end of the month when I get my check, I guess that's kind of a weird thing because I never really thought I would actually be getting paid for skateboarding, so it's kind of weird. It makes me think a little bit every month, I guess, because sometimes I take it for granted, but yeah, it's actually a really good feeling when you get checked.
Check this out, Heath. Look, he sawed it in half. He moved it out of his old place, like it was so hard for him to move it out that he just sawed the whole thing in half. Yeah. He's moving it in and he's like, I don't even care if it doesn't work, man.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. He put it back together and it works just fine.
What is son?
Nasty. I did a full toe mobber and didn't do anything I wanted it to.
You're gonna do it right here.
Oh, late flips? Maybe, yeah. I guess if the right person does it. I mean, Mike Carroll, he'll around and do some shit. I shouldn't really be saying that. Gotta watch the language on video. Yeah.
Can't say enough good things about Ultimate Gary.
Yeah, what's up with Ultimate Gary?
He's gonna have a sick part in the video. He's talking about this crazy stunt where he's gonna backflip in a school bus. So I'm not sure how he's gonna do it, but that's coming up.
I just want the butter, dude. And if I can't get the butter, I don't want nothing. Or whatever. Are you still recording? I love the camera. I love